Greetings students, in this session of the electrician trade, you will be taught how to prepare an emergency light.
Objectives. You will be able to use it at the end of this exercise. Assemble the components of the PCB. Construct charging circuit for battery. Assemble inverter circuit for emergency light. Assemble charging circuit and inverter circuit for emergency light. Let us take a look at the tools and instruments required for the preparation of the emergency light. Tools or instruments. Soldering iron 10 watt 240 volt 1. Wire stripper 150 mm 1. Tweezer 150 mm 1. Insulated wire cutter 150 mm 1. Multimeter 1. Materials. Step down transformer center tap 240 by 7.50 7.5 volt 2 ampere 1. Rectifier diode in 5402 3.
Lead acid
Battery 6 volt 10 Ah maintenance free type 1. Toggle switch 2 ampere 240 volt SPST single pole single throw 1. Toggle switch 2 ampere 240 DPST double pole single throw 1. Relay 6 volt DC 5 ampere with 1 NO and 1 NC 1. LED 5 mm green 1. Resistance 1K 1/4 watt 1. Resistance 2.2K 5 watt 2. Resistance 2.20 1/4 watt 1. Capacitor 10 microfarad 25 volt 1. Capacitor 1000 microfarad 25 volt 1. Soldering flux 10 grams. Soft solder 60% lead and 40% tin 50 grams. General purpose PCB 150 mm by 100 mm 1. PVC insulation tape 20 mm 10 meter 1 roll. Screw type incandescent lamp 6 volt 15 watt 1. Transistor 2N3055 with the heatsink 1. Resistance 50 ohm 5 watt 1. Capacitor 2.2 microfarad 250 volt 1. Inverter transformer 6 volt 20 watt 1. 20 watt tube in suitable sheet metal box 1 set. Silicone grease 5 grams. Let us take a look at the preparations for an emergency light. In this exercise, our first task is to construct charging circuit for an emergency light. First of all, we need to understand the power requirements of your emergency light, such as the voltage and current it needs for charging. According to our requirements, select suitable accessories for constructing charging circuit for emergency light. Draw the circuit diagram of a simple emergency light circuit. Identify and collect each component in the circuit and check for their correctness. Arrange the components except the battery on the PCB to meet the technical requirement and aesthetic sense. Draw the layout of the components of the PCB. Ensure proper polarity while connecting diodes, capacitors and the battery. Mount the components on the PCB in the respective places. Solder the components. Check the connection as per circuit diagram. Before connecting the battery, double check the connections to ensure they are correct. Then connect the battery and plug in the power supply. Switch on the AC supply for charging the battery. Use a multimeter to measure the charging voltage and confirm that it remains within the acceptable range for your battery. Check the glow of red LED, which is an indication for the presence of AC supply. Consider incorporating additional safety features like overcharge protection or short circuit protection to prevent damage to the battery and ensure safe operation. After charging the battery, switch off the AC supply. Put on the lamp and observe the functioning of the emergency light, and also check the indicator green LED is on. Our next task is to construct inverter circuit for emergency light. Calculate the power consumption of the light you intend to power with the inverter. This will help you select the appropriate components for your circuit. Trace the circuit diagram of an emergency tube light circuit. Identify each component of the circuit. Solder the components on PCB for making inverter circuits. Mark the inverter circuit board with a charging circuit. Solder the components onto the PCB following the circuit diagram. Be careful to observe proper polarity for diodes and capacitors. Mount the power transistors onto the heatsink and connect them to the PCB. Test the emergency light after connecting. Fix permanently the charging unit, inverter suitably in a box or case. Check the indicating LED red and green functioning correctly. Power up the circuit and test its functionality. Use a multimeter and an oscilloscope to measure voltages, current and waveforms. Check for any issues such as excessive heat or abnormal behavior and troubleshoot accordingly.
Recap. Let us just recap what you have learned so far. Assemble the components on the PCB. Construct charging circuit for battery. Assemble inverter circuit for emergency light. Assemble charging circuit and inverter circuit for emergency light. I hope you all understand how to prepare an emergency light. Let us meet again in the next session. Thank you students and bye.